we're gonna move on to our next subject here, which I heard this today and I started laughing a little bit because I'm like, National Treasure 3. No, okay. All right. So I liked the first one a lot. The second one was cool, but it was going downhill a little bit. Then I watched this show. There's a show on Disney Plus right now, and I'm like, I think they need to stop. But maybe because of that, they're like, well, maybe we should bring the OG people back and try to fix this. But this is actually something that happened today. They announced, and actually Jerry Bruckheimer was talking about it.
Jerry Bruckheimer notes that he is working on another National Treasure. When asked if Nicolas Cage would return for National Treasure 3, he offers, "Let's hope. We're working on a script right now. Hopefully he likes it. But I think it's really good, so hopefully we'll get it to him shortly."
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do a movie actually, like theatrical version, you got to bring Nick Cage back. And like, come on, what's he doing? Honestly, he'll do anything. I feel like give him $20 to be on the screen. Like he needs to pay for those dinosaur bones. I love Nick Cage. I'm just saying.
What is wrong with you? He is awesome.
He's awesome. I'm just saying he's like everywhere. So like, why would he not?
Severely underrated, by the way.
I love Nick Cage. Yeah, I mean, honestly.
Hey, Jacob, I see you. He'll watch anything with Jacob. Nick
Cage. I love him. Sabrina, what do you think about this?
I think it's, I mean, honestly, I really enjoyed the first two movies. I mean, I wouldn't like be sprinting to the theater or anything, but if they got him to come back, I would absolutely see it. I also like Diane Kruger. I thought she was really good. I think they're fun movies. It's kind of like the Night at the Museum situation. Like, you know, they're just solid movies. And I would totally go watch another one if they made another one, even though I don't care for Ben Stiller. I do care for Nick Cage, and if he did come back, which I hope he does, I would absolutely watch it. I'm not really sure about the series. Not too interested in that. I know that that who's the guy that plays what's his name?
Justin Bartha.
Yes, he's in the series. I'm sure he would come back for the movie, but I think they've been trying to get this movie off the ground for a while. Oh, really? Yeah, I guess you kind of fit him.
Yeah, you got any stories about Justin Bartha, Brian? Sorry, I'm calling you out.
I'm gonna tell you one thing about Justin Bartha. So, not to cut you off, Sabrina.
Oh, you're fine. Go.
So I worked on a show. It was called The Station. It was a pilot actually with John Goodman and Justin Bartha. It was the CIA undercover in South Central America or something. It was a weird concept. Ben Stiller actually
South Central America.
It was something like that. But Ben Stiller was actually the creator of it and the executive producer. He was on set every day. And I know Sabrina, that way, doesn't like him that much. He was very nice to me. But Justin Bartha went. Justin Bartha went to high school with one of my friends back at Michigan State. Well, his brother, Ben. Mike, you don't remember Ben? Mm-hmm. So one of our buddies, Ben, like his brother went to high school with him, and he said, "Tell Justin I said hi," because he saw him all the time in school. And I went up to him like I'm working for him, like, "Hey, my buddy Ben says hi." I say Ben Panic, and he goes, "Oh, him." He walks off, and I was like, all right. And then but his communication was really weird in that whole thing. He was very to himself. He'd be like, "Thank you for helping me."
Oh my God.
That's what he was like every day. And I was just like, and I've worked for other people that have been really great. And it was just, I'm not going to try to slam him. Maybe he's in his element, but it was just very awkward.
You're throwing shade pretty hard right now, bro.
I'm throwing a little shade.
Not as much shade as I'm throwing at Ben Stiller.
Yeah, I'm throwing a little shade. You got to throw a little shade. But yeah, but he's back for the series. So he's working. Good for him. I mean, it's great. He came back for it. But that series, I started watching that series. I watched the first episode. I got through like 25 minutes, and I turned that shit off. That's what I say.
I wanted to, speaking of Nick Cage, he's just got appeal that crosses all boundaries. Like, he appeals to the parts of me that love sincere, like, really emotional acting. He appeals to the parts of me that just, like, are just, like, absurd, comedic stuff, or just, like, balls to the wall craziness. Like, he's a guy that loves to act. He loves to take all different kinds of roles. I don't know what his financial situation is, but he's a guy that likes to work. I don't think anybody is going to tell you otherwise. And I think that we can talk about Nicolas Cage all day long, and I would love
think
to
so
do
too.
that. But also, I did want to check in with you first about that series. Is there a, because National Treasure doesn't work without that incredible charisma of the leading man that's tilting the energy of the series forward, right? Like,
Yeah.
so is that present in the show at all?
There is a leading female. She's much younger, and the way they set it up is she's trying to get one last MacGuffin, pretty much, that's out there. And Harvey Keitel's in it, and he's like pretty much in the show. He's on his deathbed, and he is like, someone needs to know about this, and needs to find this, and I have to give you this before I die, pretty much. And he's like losing his mind. He has dementia. He does a phenomenal job because he always does. And he's kind of pawning off for her for this new generation to kind of look for this new treasure.
So
And
it sounds like it's gonna be arced over the whole series. Like they're not doing episodic payoff kind of thing at all.
No, it seems like it's one big arc for the whole season. But I mean, I don't know. I watched the first half hour and I got bored and turned it off. I'll give it another shot because I do love this show. I love the movies, so I'll give it another shot. And I was surprised Nick Cage wasn't back for that from the get-go. Because I'm like, how do you do it without Nick Cage? But Justin Bartha, at least is one part. Then maybe it'll spiral into a movie if Bruckheimer actually has an idea for this. It makes sense that you would try to connect.
They said there's a script.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
If Bruckheimer's got a script, then like that's pretty dang serious,
And
right?
there's an IMDb page for it.
So
Whatever.
it's in the works.
Does that mean anything?
IMDb is.
It's a start.
No, I
It's
have
a
no
start. Let me
idea. I've
say
never
that.
seen it.
It's a start. Like
It's
usually
like
gets up there, but
Internet Movie Database. It's like the Bible for like anything that goes on in Hollywood.
yeah.
I'm
So the
teasing you,
actors,
Sabrina.
producers,
I just
wardrobe
wasn't
people.
sure. I don't know what it takes
now you're gonna
to
be a
get
wise ass? We're just meeting and you're gonna be a wise ass to me? You don't even give me a heads up?
I'm sorry. I know this is the first time that we're meeting, Sabrina. So Moose may not have warned you, although he's probably worse than me. So I'm sure you can deal with it.
And
Oh, I
in
can
case
deal
you're
with it.
wondering, my nickname growing up was Moose. So if you
Oh,
ever
did I
says Moose,
just call you Moose?
that's why he's
You
saying.
sure
he's
did.
I was gonna
he's
try
one of the
not
last
to.
people that still call me that, actually. But now maybe everybody will again. Who knows? You know, that's how that
No.
goes.
I vote no.
But overall though, I think I'm excited about a new National Treasure. I'd watch it if Nick Cage is involved. Come on, I watched that Nick Cage movie where he's playing himself. That was pretty good. It was bad parts too, but he was still fun. It was still fun with
He's
him.
great.
Yeah, he's
He's
awesome.
hilarious.
He
Like
can't do
you
wrong.
said, Mike, he could play everything. He does like mega like action stuff. He does like super dramatic stuff. He does funny stuff. I mean, like going way back like to Raising Arizona, like he is just on point all the time. I know people give him a hard
Adaptation.
time, but I think he's great.
Adaptation is
amazing.
that's my favorite movie of all
Awesome
time, and
movie.
he is hysterical in that movie. I watched
And
Leaving Las Vegas
recently
too.
that
the other
movie
day.
Pig.
So good. I haven't
Snake Eyes.
seen that. I'm really looking forward to seeing that.
It's
And
really,
the other
it's really
Anybody with
good
snake
piece of
eyes,
acting.
come on. Con Air, you
ju-
can't go wrong. The Rock. There's so many
Face
great
Off.
movies.
Con Air, come on!
You can't go wrong.
So that accent, like, it cracks me up on so many levels. Let me mention this, Moose, because I sense that you may be wanting to move along in your topics.
I'm getting there.
The day before yesterday, I watched. I wasn't intending to do this, but I had a whole day off, so I was relaxing. I threw on Indiana Jones 1, Raiders of the Lost Ark. I threw on Indiana Jones 3. Where he reconnects with his dad. I put on 5. It was getting late in the evening, but I was just feeling that it's just those really nice, well-paced scripts like that have action moments. Like that's all that industrial light and magic effects, like where you just have light, breezy family stuff. It doesn't like there's intense moments, like a little bit scary, like so the kids don't feel like you're talking down to them. And I think National Treasure 3, if that came out and Bruckheimer really does have a script that he's confident in, like that's a whole, like we always need more of that. And the other thing that I'm hoping for is I saw Brendan Fraser in Darren Aronofsky's The Whale last weekend too.
Did you like that? I haven't seen it yet.
I'm a massive Aronofsky fan, huge. The scale is a little bit smaller than what Aronofsky usually works with, but he's telling a very human story that in the way that he always kind of does. And I think this one's a little bit less esoteric, a little bit easier to kind of picture on what the views, what the lessons he might be working with are. But what I wanted to say is, if Brendan Fraser, now that he's getting some more visibility, let's bring the frickin' Mummy back, man. Like, we need more of these adventure movies.
They gave the Mummy to Tom Cruise, though.
Yeah, but it didn't do well though. The thing is, it just didn't do well. It just wasn't right. They were trying to revamp the whole universe, and he's been talking about that actually. Brendan's been talking about it because it comes up a lot. They're talking about the Mummy. That's one of his biggest franchises. I think they could do it. He could do it, but also he's at a different point in his life. What's he gonna be training his son? Maybe they had his son in the third one, and it didn't go too well. So I don't know. I want to say another topic about the whale though. They're originally going to shoot the whale, and Tom Ford was going to direct it. And take a guess who was going to play the whale. He's a late talk show host.
Corden. Yeah, I saw that.
Corden was going to play it.
Yeah. No way. That shit never would have flown, man. That would not have happened.
That's who Tom Ford wanted, and that was the idea. But of course, and Corden said too. He goes, "I don't think I would have been right for it now that the whale is actually out." And there was a number of years back now, so he'd been much younger during it too. So
that would be a hard no for me.
Aronofsky's like the man for a movie like that. I feel like he's the perfect person to do a character study like that too. And he's also bringing the best out of a lot of. Look at those movies where he brings the best out of these actors that don't have those opportunities. Look at The Wrestler. Look what he did with Mickey Rourke. What he pulled out of him, and that raw energy and that raw performance. Like he does it great with his actors. He brings performance.
How about the Fountain? Hugh. What's his last name?
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman. I mean, that was a massive underrated film. Like, if you go back and watch that, like this character's journey, like, is just gripping and like incredibly sad. Like the scope of the guy's vision is nuts. So to hear somebody like James Corden, like the internet shits on him worse than anybody else that I've ever seen. I don't watch his show. I don't watch his show, so I've never really followed him. But people seem to say that he's like.
Well, it's because
on Reddit they say he's the worst human in the universe.
I know it's because he wasn't tipping right or something like that. I guess he shit over some server, and then he just poshed over it, and then he ended up having to go back because they banned him from this restaurant for life, which was one of his favorite restaurants. And this big apology and stuff, but apparently they say that he's. I mean, it's all hearsay. That he's
cover your ass, Brian. There you go,
a jackass. But that's just hearsay. Anyways, everybody, we got to move on. We gotta say we love Nick Cage. If he gets an opportunity to do this again, let's let him do it because we'd love to see some more of National Treasure with Nick Cage. Maybe this series is actually pretty good. Honestly, I probably should have given it more time, but it was one of those things where I was looking for something, I didn't get it right away, and I said moving on. So. What do you guys everybody think out there? If you guys like it, let us know. If you have any comments about this, if you want to see National Treasure 3 with Nick Cage, leave some comments and we'll talk about it later with you.